All right, let's see what happens.
Come on, babe.
That's the weirdest damn thing. So this would be the 4th time I tried to stream today, and it hasn't crashed yet. I wonder if it has anything to do with this charging cable. All right, I'm charging. All right. I don't know who's here. I don't know what you're watching. It's probably myself. Anyway, yeah. I'm going to go back to working on this little guy today. So let's get some light down here. And we'll see if we can, if I can do this. I should do that. Yeah, maybe I should do that. That might be a way to go. We'll try that for a little bit. See what happens. I'm going with that piece. Oh, this is the piece that was probably in the middle. Yeah, this is left over from yesterday. Let me see. Yeah, I'll throw that stuff away. How about this one? Oh, this yellow has lumps in it, I swear. I'll put on my glasses. Yeah, this is very lumpy. A little too lumpy and grainy for my taste. So we'll put that aside. How about this piece here? Could be worse. Pieces, all right. That's not too bad right there. So, I was talking to a fellow streamer today, and who was messing around with some green stuff. Hey, what's up, Sean? It's going all right. I am just working on this dude. He's supposed to look like that. So, yeah, it's getting there. He's got feet. You know. I still need to make the whole of his little jacket, his hands, beef up his shorts a little bit, you know, give him eyes, ears, that little wisp of hair on him. And then he's got this kind of funky hoodie that comes up right here. His mustaches, no mustaches. Oh, those little things. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that is a mustache. I didn't really think about that. I thought he just sort of draws them on. I think because I know he draws the teeth on. That's my understanding. I'm trying to make sure this yellow stuff isn't too lumpy before I put it together with the other stuff. So I'm kind of just spreading it out. But it's pretty lumpy. Yeah, stuff like these things, I'll probably do at the very end, and those little whiskers there. The teeth are drawn on his lips, I think, and I want to say I thought he drew the other things on too, but you know what? Maybe you're right. Probably not. Do I have room for that? Oh yeah, I got room for that. I could probably paint it at that scale. But yeah, what else is there? I guess the scarf would be the next thing. Let me see what I want to build up. Maybe I'll build up his arms a little bit. This isn't a ton of stuff. I think I put this on the other day on the back of his head, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see how far it goes. I think I'll probably do his little handkerchief thing, his little cravat or whatever he's wearing there. We'll go from there. But his arms are looking mighty weak. Maybe we should build up his arms. Yeah, probably good way to start is his arms. Let's do that. We'll put a little bit of... We'll give him some guns for the gun show. Is this my... No. Where's my favorite one? There it is. Oh, yeah, so what I was saying about the green stuff. So, there's another guy on Twitch who was... He's making like a space marine out of green stuff, like for his little logo or like his mascot, channel mascot. And I mentioned, I was like, yeah, have you ever run into a problem with like all these weird little yellow inclusions? He's like, oh, you mean like the stuff where it touches the blue? I said, no, it's not that at all. There's no blue in it at all. It's just not like the yellow's just really grainy. And it turns out that he was having that problem with green stuff that he got from Green Stuff World as an online store. And I was like, huh, you know what? I got this green stuff from Green Stuff World. And so apparently Green Stuff's got this weird batch of Green Stuff World has this weird batch of this green stuff that is not so great. I mean, it's okay, but it has all these little inclusions that are just a big pain in the butt to get rid of. And frankly, it's kind of annoying, but you know, I've got it. I got a 3-foot roll. I'm going to use it. It is less expensive than the other stuff that he bought from Gale Force 9, I guess. And I was like, Gale Force 9? And I think I saw that on Amazon a while back, and I thought they're ridiculous. They're charging like $10 or $15 or something insane for a little, what I think was like a 6-inch ribbon. And I probably paid like around that for a 3-foot roll. So I was like, hell no, I am not doing that. But now I'm reconsidering because I don't really like these little flecks in here, man. They're kind of irritating. But you know, this is going to get painted. I've said it many times. It's not for production. I'm not making a copy of it. It's not going any kind of special mold process or anything like that. And it's not for sale, so I'm not super worried about making it perfect. It's just going to be used as a little figure and probably sit on a shelf for the most part. But the paint will cover up any of these little imperfections I'm worried about. But yeah, I was kind of like, well, dang, man. So it is their green stuff that it has a problem. And what I determined in the last video was it's the plastic where it comes in contact with the yellow that's causing that. Like wherever this plastic right here comes into contact with this yellow stuff, it's leaving some kind of residue or sheen on it, and that kind of turns into this like crystalline. It does something to it causes this stuff to react, and it's making these like lumps. I don't know. It's weird. In other words, it makes it so the yellow stuff doesn't want to mix with the catalyst and harden properly. But I noticed that and at first I thought he didn't have any on his, but he did like a close-up, and you could tell where there were like little flecks in it, like kind of like this. And all he did is he just sanded over, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not even going to go that far. So, you know, it's smooth enough. Like I said, it's going to get painted, so I'm not super concerned about it. All right, I think that's a decent size. You got some decent size arms there. Let's make some more. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's the yellow, and there's the blue. And you peel it off, and you see how there's this kind of like area where the yellow is like more rigid and more shiny. If I can even rub my finger across this, and this feels like a crust across the top where that plastic was touching it. It's real funky. And the blue doesn't seem to have that problem. See that? It's almost like this kind of film. You notice I can still leave my fingerprint on it, but not as much as on the blue stuff. See that? It's this weird film that's over it, and it's because the plastic that's touching it, it's doing something to it. So, oh well, I guess there's that. But if I mess with it a little bit, I can kind of spread it out and like kind of peel off this like skin it's got, which is almost like what it is, and get to the gooey stuff right here in the middle and just kind of smear it out and get as much of the good stuff as I can. And it's not quite so bad, but oh well, what are you going to do? So, see the difference? See how it's like shiny on one side and nice and matte on the other? Yeah, anyway. I can even feel it kind of getting grainy on some of these pieces. The trick is, though, and what kind of irritates me is, like, well, you buy a 3-foot roll, you're not actually getting, I already expected as much, because And what I'd actually bought was the one that was separated in the middle, so that these two wouldn't be hard in the middle. And for the most part, that's the case, but, you know, that stuff is just, that plastic film, it just ruins it. So the moral of the story is, in a green stuff world, if you ever happen to watch this video, or I sincerely doubt it, or anybody who works for them watches it, your green stuff sucks. It doesn't, I mean, it doesn't suck. It's not that great. For the amount of money you pay and the time it takes for this to get shipped to you, and this huge long ribbon, you have some expectations, you know? And, yeah, I don't really shouldn't have to go through the extra trouble of, you know, whatever. I think somebody said it's like, what did they say? It's a feature. It's a feature of the product. Well, his feet are kind of funkola. He's got little hobbit feet. I only gave him 4 toes because, frankly, I just didn't want to do a 5th toe. He didn't have the room for a 5th toe. They were just going to get so ridiculously small. I didn't want to bother with it. So this one's got a lot more catalyst in it. You notice it's like a much darker green. That means I've got less working time usually. The lighter green it is, the softer it is, the more working time you have. The darker green it is, the less working time you have usually. Usually that's the case. I think we can probably mix some more in here. Let me see. Yeah, that's the thing about 2-part epoxies. You got 2 parts to mix together. Polymer clays, one advantage is, one, you can probably cook it like on the spot with a blowtorch or put it in an oven and just keep on working. The other is you don't have to mix it up like you do with this stuff. But this has a lot of advantages too. For starters, it's not nearly as fragile as a lot of polymer clay is, which is kind of becoming a thing of the past with cosplay, is what I understand. Apparently that stuff's amazing, but I haven't had a chance to really work with that yet. But maybe soon. Maybe soon. Maybe coming to a box near you. So you know he's got a little ankle on one side, but none on that side. Let's put some ankles, some cankles on him. Don't move the camera around. Let's see. I'm blending this into his leg a little bit better. Kind of looks like he's got a broken ankle. Let's put this one on this side. Let's see. I think I'll build out his shorts a little bit. Maybe a little bit. I guess I could probably put some jagged details in there. So let's put one in there. Dun, 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 dun. And we'll put a little cut in here. And another one over here. That's good. A little head detail. A head detail is a detail that goes on the head. So we'll do that next. Okay. Let's see how many crusties are in this one. Oh, incidentally, the name of that other YouTuber I was talking about, he goes by Balefire Forge. For anyone interested in checking out him. He paints, among other things. But, yeah, he paints and he's currently working on, like I said, little green stuff. Space Marine. Well, I say little, but it's pretty big. Probably looks like he's about maybe 4 inches tall. So, not a tournament legal one, I don't imagine. Man, it's hard to get some good green stuff. But you know, it's not like that's never been a problem. It's always been hard to get good, decent green stuff. I mean, as far back as I can remember, and that's like, shoot, I've been working with this junk for at least 30 plus years. But I'm going to try out that cost clay. We'll see how that stuff works. I hear it's pretty cool. I've seen some pretty interesting stuff that with it. It has some unique qualities. I'm interested in, you know, taking advantage of. So we'll see how that stuff works out. Let's see here. I don't know, it seems kind of slow going, but it is what it is. He looks like he's like, the only thing he says is, What's your name? How long have you been here? Looks like you got a pretty close haircut. All right, just kidding. Shouldn't play with your toys. Technically, it's not really my toy either. It's someone else's toy that I'm making. Because I'm making it. So I was looking at his forehead. And it seems to me I could go bigger, right? I mean, my forehead on this guy is much smaller than the forehead on the real one. So I think I should probably go a little bit bigger with him. Just a little bit. We'll see how that turns out. It can only spell disaster. Giant foreheads only spell disaster. Never trust anyone with a giant forehead. I don't see many people with foreheads quite that big, but you know, could happen. Or noggin's quite that big. I mean, look at his head; it's about the size of his torso. If you look at it, you know, really look at it. So let's see. Let's give him a little bit more forehead. All right, come on, stay on there. Don't stay on my finger. Stay on his forehead. There we go. I don't know if this is going to work. What I've noticed about this epoxy sculpt is it does not like the green stuff to stick to it. And this green stuff doesn't like to stick to it either. You really have to work it in. It doesn't help when there's like all these crazy inclusions. Oh my god. Can't even talk anymore. Yeah. Stuff that shouldn't be there. Makes it look real rough. So let's see. Let's try to do this again. This time I'm really going to push it in there. I'll work it in nice and good. And I'm really only putting this on here so it'll be easier for me to do stuff to it later. Look at that. Look at that little, what is that, a microchip? Come on, man. And of course, I'm trying to take it out and it's like messing everything else up. All right. So what I'm trying to do here really is just make this stick. So let's just blend it in with the green stuff I put in before, and that'll help it. Blendy, blendy. I know, you're thinking, oh, he's going to get fingerprints all over it. Surprisingly, I'm really not going to get that many fingerprints all over this. It's going to have a few fingerprints, but God, dog it, look at that. There's another one. Another piece of that chunky yellow, just making my life miserable. Look at, it's a big one too. Looks like a that looks like that that was something that injured him. Yeah, let's fix that. That's much worse than a fingerprint. It was a good idea. At least I thought it was. There we go. Back to normal. All right, blender. Let's see if these little blenders can blend. So far, it's just polishing more than anything else. blend, blend. Oh, not bad. So let's move this in here. And we'll put some little wrinkles in his head. Where about are those wrinkles? Still think I should probably go a little bit bigger with his head, but I also feel like I should wait and then let this bottom layer dry a little bit and then add some in. That's going to be kind of like our little sub layer. And we'll kind of make us add a little bit more on the back of his head too. So let's leave his head alone for a little bit. Let's get back to some other parts of his body here. That's a good piece. What about this? Any good pieces in here? And I'm definitely going to drill a hole in his head for the ear. 2 holes actually, 1 for each ear. Oh, yeah, just because I just feel like they make him a little bit stronger. So, this stuff pops off in layers. I think the ears would need just a little bit something extra. He really does have some cankles on him. That's really not the look I wanted to go for. Might have to I might go back and reduce the size of those ankles. I think I kind of overdid it there. Let me see here. Let's just pull that off. I think I like them better with just a little bit slighter foot there. Here too. Yeah, a little better. Give him a little thicker calves. Work up to that. Let's see, maybe we'll start adding some more of that short detail in the back that you don't see on the picture. Smoothing it out. Just added some shirt wrinkles, you know. For flavor, for flavor. All right, what are we at? How many minutes are we in? I can't even tell. Does this not tell you? I'm going to guess this is probably about 30-something minutes worth of work. We'll build out a little bit of this chest area, even though it's not really going to be covered. I mean, not really going to be seen. Yeah, why not? Can use some cheap stuff. Some of the stuff that I didn't want to use for anything else. There we go. I don't mind using the real lumpy stuff for areas that are just going to get covered up anyway. So you look, he's got his cravat first his hoodie, then his little hanky, and then his jacket goes over that, it looks like. And then it kind of looks like the skull is pinned to both the hanky and the neck thing and the jacket. It's kind of weird. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. The good thing is it's easy to make. It's easy to make, yes it is. Alright, let's see. More, come on, green stuff. Blend, dang it. This needs a little bit more yellow. More yellow, my fellow. There's a real hard chunk in here somewhere. Not this piece. Not too bad. Alright. There we go, enough here to finish off what I want to finish off. And just be real careful not to touch it. A little bit more blending. That's pretty good. So I'm just gonna fill in some of those gaps and then kind of smooth out that transition area from the chest to the belly. Just a little bit, just for fun. Like I said, not really even going to be something that's super noticeable, but I'll know it's there. So. I like to use my fingers a lot. I don't know if you could tell, but I mean, for anything that I can just use my finger, I'm just going to use my finger. Especially if it's something I just need to flatten out with a wide area. It's just easier than, messing around with these little color shapers. These things didn't even exist when I first started sculpting. This is like something that came out in the 2000s. I was doing this back in the 80s. A lot of the people watching this were just tiny twinkles in their parents' eyes. But, whatever. I see something that works, I'm going to try to use it too. As far as I'm concerned, the jury's still out on whether or not these work or not. I think they're a good idea. What's funny is they were called color shapers when they first came out, I think way back. And they weren't actually marketed for sculpting necessarily. It was kind of like which is weird because, I mean, what else are you going to use them for? But they were actually marketed for drawing and painting, to shove the paint around. But, yeah. They work for this. Okay. Looks like there's something in here. Ah, crap. Looks like there's something in there. Looks like I got it out. Okay, good. See if I can smear that back out again. It was starting to look halfway decent there for a second. Trying to make this transition noticeable but subtle. You know what I'm saying? He's not like some bodybuilder cut out of wood, and he's not Gollum either. So let's use a little bit heavier tool here. And smear it out. Yeah, just kind of dull it in a little bit. Mm-hmm. This might be the last piece I put on here, and then we'll call it a day. Where's my tool? There it is. I kind of favor this one. It's got two of the pieces I like to use, a little spatula, kind of blender, and it's nice and soft around edges, and then it's got this piece. So I kind of like this side and this side. I think it's probably one of my favorite tools to use for stuff like this anyway. Alright, let's try to blend this one in. Oh, that happened. All right, I think that's pretty good. Oops. I say, yeah, that looks pretty good. Then I try to ruin it. I'm overthinking it. Half this stuff isn't even going to be visible once I put all. I don't know. Kind of just want to give it a. That's decent. Let's stick with that. I think we're good. We'll call that progress. But I do want to kind of put those little wrinkles on his forehead, even though I'm probably going to end up filling them in. But let's see. Let's see if I can do it. 1, 2, 3. Talk about these right here. 1, 2, 3. I want to say it's about right. Right here. Oops, what's all this stuff? That's all right. So, little curves. Probably. Where's my little spoon? Does that have a curve in it? Not really. We could burnish it, man. Let's try that. Let's try burnishing. Burnish it. So, real gentle. Uh-oh. See where his head wrinkles are? See where they are on the picture? And then imagine you still have all that hair to go over. He's going to have to get a much bigger head. But let's try dulling those down. I can always fill them in if I don't like them. Or sand them down. Yeah, honestly, I don't think that was the way to go. I don't think that marking them was the way to go. Probably should have put little weenie rolls in there and blended them in. So let's erase those. As much as we can. Pretty good, actually. I must say. Blended in pretty good. I can kind of still see a very faint line, but I mean, something that faint is going to get covered with paint anyway. All right, I think we're good. It's a good stopping point. Made some progress. He's looking more and more like him each time I come back, so I think what I'm going to do tonight or at some point during the week is put his little fingers on. Just put some wire with some crazy glue and some baking soda just to hold it in place, you know. He's got some spindly weird fingers, so I want to have something pretty rigid underneath to hold that shape and then start sculpting those out. But like I said, that's toward the end. I think right now they'd get in the way. I'm trying to do as much as I can without having to get to the hands. Not because I hate hands, it's just, you know, they would just be in the way of everything. So once all this is done and hardened up, we'll do the hands last. And probably this little doohickey up here. But yeah, doesn't look too bad. There aren't a whole lot of pictures of the back side of this guy, so I'm just improvising. That's why the front looks so complete and the back's like kind of eh. But if you look at him, he's got kind of like a long, jaggedy kind of shirt. So that, you know, I could always put that in there last. Not going to build up this anymore. It's built up enough. Probably going to bring that shirt down to like from here to here. So, you know, maybe about this angle. So like about like that. So cut off right there. And then it'll stick out just a little bit. Come back around. But yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Maybe just a little bit of wrinkleness. Put some little lines in here. Get him ready for his shorts to be added onto. I'm just kind of doing it subtle. A little bit. And maybe a little bit right here. A little horizontal line. I'm going to probably add on to this, so you can always sculpt the wrinkles in. But if you look at it, well, I mean, it's getting pretty close. I think probably just a little bit more of this curve right here, and I'll sculpt in probably some more of these little wrinkle areas. Give them a little package. All right, I think we're good. See you later. Have a good one. If you want to follow me and you see this, always appreciated. Always appreciated. See you, folks. I do have stuff on YouTube if you want to check that out. I've got Instagram. All the links should be down there. Probably plan on doing a lot more sculpting in the future. It's been a while since I've done it, but it's coming back slowly. I wasn't in a coma or anything. I just kind of quit doing it for a while. All right. See you, folks. Bye-bye.